So for reference, I just want to start by saying this video will be stored in a private collection until I deem it necessary to be released. So, it is Tuesday, 4 o'clock, February, April 7th is Friday, 6th, 5th, 4th, April 4th, day 4 of the journey, vacation. I have been fasting for approximately 90 hours. I am on my way to meet up with my good friend, brother, mentor, doctor, brother-in-arms. Doctor doesn't even do it justice. Author, soon-to-be judge. By the time this is released, probably most absolutely will be. Andrew Zivjits. I hope I pronounced that properly. First time I've gone by that name, or introduced him as that. Yeah, I just left my cousins out in Indiana. I have been driving for about 3.5 hours. The first hour or so, I tried my best to dive into the book of Matthew, in which I started on the way to Indiana. Made it about halfway through until I got there. Continued on once I left, and just was not focused. I'm listening to it on audio, so I kind of knew that going into it, it's very hard to listen to something as in-depth as the Bible on audio, at least for someone like me. I'm not going to label myself a reader, but when I do read, I can take in much more. It just takes me a lot longer time to read, hence the reason I don't read nearly as much. Be that as it may, I decided to just stop where I did, and just be still, essentially. I don't think I need to catch anyone up to this point of my journey. But since I know this could be a really random video, I guess I might just do a little bit. The point of this journey vacation time away from home is to reprogram, restructure, reroute, start over, get back in touch with the, essentially with the higher power, and figure out what God's will has been for me for the future, right? I have been fasting, I have been clean, I've been sober, clear-minded. It's time to clear the mind, reprogram, restructure, and figure out what the next stage of life is to be, what the next stage of the process is to be. Essentially, the goal for the journey was to write down, write down pad and paper the plan of action for the next couple seasons. I have a job change coming up this season. I have I'm taking a pay cut. I'm taking a higher leadership role. It's going to be time to work, right? I will be working my butt off this season, and I just don't know how I'm going to do it. So my plan or my I felt the inkling, or at least I felt the itch to go out right around week 5 or 6 of the program that I've been in, the Elliott Hall's King Transformation Initiation Program. Around 5 or 6, I started quote unquote failing, not sticking to my fasting, which is a really good habit to keep. And once I kind of fell off of it a little bit, I wanted to figure out a way to get back on. And taking a break, taking time away, taking a vacation was the itch that I felt the need to do during that week, which I'm on right now. I felt the need to fast the whole time. It being Holy Week, I started last Friday. Since then, it's been about 90-something hours. And it hasn't been perfect up until now. I don't want to say perfect, of course, but I've been lacking in clarity this whole time. Now, some of the downfalls that I've seen have been I have not taken complete time away to myself. Like I mentioned, I'm coming from my cousins and going to see a good buddy of mine. So the idea of being purely on your own, the idea is to take time away from everything, from everyone, and just go off. Basically, in my mind, my original plan, you might get a laugh out of this, my original plan started out to take care of, if you haven't been following my videos, you should go back and watch. I've had to take care of the past, I've had to take care of some past issues, overcome some past trauma. That trauma being the warrant that I've had for over 7 years now. It's already done. It's already over. I've paid it off, and I'm well on my way. That was a part of the journey that I went on. I started out and left straight to this city in which I owed my sacrifice to. And then from there, I just went to see my cousin. But essentially, obviously, the first part of the journey is to make amends with the past. It's obvious that that's a part of the journey. I've already stated in one of my videos a good reason, a good chunk of the fulfilling God's will, figuring out what God's will is to take care of your past issues, right? Make amends, be forgive and forget yourself, others around you, and fully embrace God's will. So now that I have made amends with more so a lot of my past, there's a lot more to go, I know. But 7 years in the making, I think we're doing okay. Now it's time to figure out what God's will really is. And now that I was driving, I'm trying to catch you guys up now. Like I said, I've been driving for a good 3.5 hours now, and I've just been in the moment, right? I had no idea what to do. And I'm saying had as in past tense because I did just figure out a tiny bit. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. Just got to make sure I'm still on the same road here. I wanted to make a clean cut video. I've got a good 50 miles left until I got to get off, but that won't be this long. This video won't be that long. Essentially, where was I? It hit me at the 3.5 hour mark, roughly, what I am to do. I want to take a moment and take just a step back, because it wasn't even, I didn't even figure it out on my own. It's going to be a really funny story real quick, so bear with me. I had been driving for a good 2.5 hours, 3.5 hours. I took a break to fill up on gas, went back out on the road, and just kept on being in the moment. All of the sudden, right? It's just one of those feeling inklings that you get. I had a song pop into my head, Country Road, West Virginia song. I'm not even sure. I forgot who it's by. And I know that some of you are going to be really upset with that. I can't remember the singer, but the song popped into my head, and I just felt the itch to listen to it for some odd reason. And I didn't know if it was right or wrong to turn on something almost like a distraction, so to speak. But it being like a 3-minute song, I felt, you know what? Let's just sing a song. Let's just play a song. It's not a Christian song. It's not a specific, this or that. I decided to go into it. This is the story, folks. So I wanted to capture this in time, whether it's right or wrong. After the song ended, I suppose I actually searched again. Shout out to Kingsman. It's actually getting kind of warm in here. Excuse me, folks. It's getting a little warm in here while the windows are open. A little bumpy in here too, huh? But yeah, shout out to Kingsman. I had to watch, or at least listen to Merlin's passing in the second movie where he sings Kingsman, right? And I think that was just what do you call it? Like an exit or a transition, because I had autoplay on my YouTube and I just let it go. I just let it play. Or I decided to, once I realized the next video was a dedication to the Spartan movie. It was a 300 Spartan dedication movie, motivational sort of speech, purely from the movie itself. And I decided to let it play, and I listened to it. Come to realize that kind of already knew this, but reminder that this life is purely about sacrifice. It's purely about pain, suffering, and sacrifice. Complete surrender to someone, something, a higher self, a higher purpose, a higher calling. Right? That's what that video inevitably reminded me of. And it got me into that mentality that it is all about sacrifice. So 4 minutes in, I'm getting goosebumps, folks. 3 or 4 minutes in, that little mentality set in, and the next video I allowed to play on. Lo and behold, the next name of the video was Work Hard in the Silence. Work hard in silence, folks. Can you believe that? That was the next video that played. And throughout that about 7-minute video, it was about a 7 to 8 minute video. Sorry. It's kind of warm in here. Just need some coolness. During that 7 or 8 minute video, my brain started to visualize, and one of the it's more of like a motivational speech, right? So I was very iffy on letting it play because I didn't know whether or not I should allow God to utilize the time, the time to be still and be in this moment. I didn't know whether or not it was right or wrong to play a video. I'll tell you that right now. But I did just let it be. That was one of the fears, is letting the YouTube to take over the moment rather than just stillness while I just drive. Because this whole drive, I've really just it's been back and forth, on and off with God, and maybe a little bit of prayer here and there, unfocused, focused, clarity, unclear. I haven't seen any visions yet this whole time until the video played, and as soon as it did, it started to come clear. One of the, obviously, being as the video is to work in silence, connecting it to the job that I'm going to be taking in this upcoming year, and the work that I'll be doing, it started to unfold in that my purpose or my plan of action for this year, this upcoming season or two, is to break away from where I'm living and move out back into my backyard, essentially live off the backyard. I have a very big property that I live on, if you didn't know. I have a good 100 acres in my backyard that I rent from the owner. By the way, just to make it clear, the new job that I'm having is ran by the same person who owns the house that I'm renting. So I will be working for and living at the same property that is ran by the same person, or the same couple, so to speak. So it'll be very, if you haven't seen the videos before, I'm very much serving one family at the moment, or I will be this summer, living off their land and working for their company. How about that? Shelby County. Essentially, I'm pretty sure my alignment is off again. I don't know how it is. I just got it checked before I did this. But it definitely feels like it's polling. This is insane to me how this stuff happens. I hate cars. Thankfully, I won't be driving at all this upcoming season, unless I'm going out for food. I will not be driving. I'll be working right across the street. I will be living in the backyard, and it will be out in the woods, right? I will be living in a cabin in the woods for 3 to 6 months, as long as it takes. I don't really know, but the job that I'll be having is going to take me till October, roughly. It is April now. So April through October. April will be the month of planning and moving out, I assume. I kind of just made this video. I just had this vision come into my mind maybe 10 minutes ago, so 10-15 minutes ago. So I wanted to capture as much as I could, as fast as I could, on camera. But I know it's still kind of unfolding as I drive. I have another 45 minutes of driving time, so I'll be going back and forth through videos and whatnot. But I think this is it, folks. This is my time to break away and cut the cord from essentially pleasure, all pleasure, and I'm talking the bed, the room, the TV. Now I have a lot of. It's funny because I've already started the program, the Elliott Hall's transformation program, and that involves really cutting the cords to a lot of effeminate behaviors I mentioned before. A lot of the bad habits, watching TV or eating eating food to your stomach hurts, drug addictions, porn addictions, whatever it may be. I've done away with most of them. Let me rephrase that. I've done away completely with only a couple of them, and now and have been on and off with others. And now it seems to be that this upcoming couple seasons is going to be about making it 100%. No ties, no all difficulty, all sacrifice, no pleasure, all pain. I do not want this at all, folks. This is my fear. My fear is pain, suffering, and sacrifice. I'll tell you that right now. I don't like fear. I don't like pain. I hate physical pain. It's taken me. I'm still not there where I can go into the gym and just exercise until it hurts, or past the point of pain. I do not like pain. It's taken me many years to understand the concept that it is all about pain, sacrifice, and suffering, and realize that that's the truth. I don't like it being the truth. I don't want it to be the truth, but it's the truth. It's the cold, hard, cruel truth. If you're not for that truth, you don't have to be. I'm not telling anybody what the truth, I mean, it's my truth. Pretty sure it's my truth. But anybody who's going to sit there and watch 300 and movies that involve pure sacrifice, if you're going to call yourself a Christian, if you're going to call yourself a Jesus freak, or hold your hand up and say, I'm in it for, I don't see how you can even say that you're for pleasure and then not realize that the opposite of pleasure is pain, and that thinking that pleasure is going to completely always grow without it taking a break. Like endless pleasure, the only sort of endless pleasure is heaven. It's death. Death is your endless pleasure. And if you think that there's only a such thing as pleasure, good luck to you, because there's the possibility of there being an opposing force to that being hell. Now, I know the atheists are going to say, that it doesn't exist or whatnot. If you think that this whole life is nothing but pleasure and the afterlife is nothing but pleasure, good luck to you. See you in the next video. This is not the channel for you. Plain and simple. That is what it is. I am not for you. But if it's not about pleasure, and it is about pleasure and sacrifice, and long-term, short-term pleasure / sacrifice and suffering and pain, I will have to tell you right now that I've been sitting in pleasure for most of my life. And with that knowledge, in order to balance the scales, I need to go through pain, plain and simple. If you've been sacrificing your whole life, then and you're still waiting for your pleasure to come into play, I would have to tell you that your time is just about there. You're one bust down of the rock. You're one more swing of the axe. You're one more chip of the coal. You're one more pressurizing. You're one more degree of heat away from just that bit of growth and upgrading, right? You have one more. Just go one more. Me, I'm on the opposite side right now. It's time to suffer. It's time to give. It's time to give into the pain and sacrifice, and go for a very long time. It's gonna hurt. It's really gonna hurt. So I think that's enough for yeah, that's pretty much it. I've nailed it. So yeah, I'm gonna be living off the land, folks. I'm gonna be in the backyard, I want to film it. I want to film it for everybody, but technically, the story is do it in silence, or the requirement is to do it in silence. So I don't know how I'm going to make these videos or how I'm going to stay connected to anybody while working in silence. But I have to do it in silence. Maybe I'll record somehow and store it on a device somewhere. Maybe I'll just make them private videos. I'll probably just make them private. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I am full-fledged, 100% ready to do this. So this is the Wiz signing off for a very long time. I'm just kidding. I have a lot more videos to make. But as far as this sort of progress goes, I hope you all are ready to follow this journey with me. Live expressively, dream expressively, feel expressively. Guys, I have chills all throughout my body. I can barely drive right now. It's insane. I've got to focus. Now I feel the need to eat. I definitely feel the need to eat, the desire to eat. This is where I might have to breathe into this. I'm going to have to sign off, folks, because this is my moment. Keep following, keep growing, keep staying stronger, keep growing stronger. I love you all, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you are, whatever you choose to be. I'm out. Live expressively, my Wiz Nation.